Hi folks, welcome to the Power and Presence Ministry. I'd like to take a few minutes tonight to just go over a couple more things with you. I know we've talked in the past, but today the Lord has put on my heart to share something a little different with you. And at my age, I don't know how many people are my age, but I get asked some strange questions sometimes. I was recently asked, somebody your age, do you wear boxers or briefs? I told them, depends. Has this ever happened to you? When we go shopping, it's different than when our wives go shopping. We don't go shopping. Men don't go shopping. Ladies, your husband doesn't go shopping. He just goes and gets it. And husbands, your wives go shopping. There are advantages either way. Guys, when your wife is in there shopping, I realize she's looking at everything in the store, but she's looking to save you money. And wives, your husband is just like me. He goes in the store, he goes to get a specific item, he goes and gets it, and he's saving time because he doesn't look at everything in the store. Doesn't make one right or the other one wrong. Just makes it different. But one thing I do find frustrating when I do have to go to the store is the checkout line. Doesn't seem to matter what I go to the store for. One recent trip, I went to the store. Once I got in the checkout line, it was the same as always. Can anybody tell me why it is every time I get in line to check out, the line goes all the way back to Dallas? There's only one check stand open, and it's always the speedy checkout line, taking 93 items or less. And there's always one person in line who's got 105 items. And if you suggest to that person, perhaps you could put 12 items back, you get some kind of a smart remark back, oh no, it's the only check stand open, so they have to make an exception for me, and besides, I have to have all 105 items. So save your breath. Don't worry about that. So I get in line, and here we wait at the speedy checkout line. There was one time waiting in line, I ordered a pizza. That didn't go well. The pizza showed up while I'm waiting in line with the rest of the people going all the way back to Dallas. And of course, I ended up having to share it with everybody in Amador County. I get a little tiny piece of pizza, but they were all grateful because it cost me $22. I got one slice. But what are you going to do? You have to find ways to pass the time. There was one particular time I was waiting in line. I just reached in the bag. I took out 3 oranges and taught myself how to juggle. Another time, a couple of the guys and I got down on the floor like we did in grammar school. We drew a circle on the tile, and we just simply played marbles with the table grapes. One guy grew a beard. One girl got her driver's license while she was waiting in line. 3 people reached retirement age, joined AARP, and started collecting their Social Security. So while I'm waiting in line, finally right after my birthday, I got to the checkout. I got up to where it's time to unload your cart. And of course, as I'm unloading everything onto that conveyor belt that goes up to the checker, I'm looking back at all those people in that line. I got a smirk on my face. I made it. You guys are still waiting. And as I put the last item on the conveyor belt, I look up and every store employee that ever worked for that store showed up. And they were grabbing baskets and telling folks, I can help you on register 3. Oh, there's no waiting on register 9. Come over to register 16. I'll pay for your purchases. But that's okay. I don't care. My stuff is on the conveyor belt now. I'm next. I just got to let the lady ahead of me pay and go. And what could go wrong? She's using her ATM card. Did I mention it's the first time she's used it? Oh goody, I hear the checker tell her, ma'am, you need to turn the card around when you swipe it. And as she turns the card around, she says, what do I do now? I enter your PIN number. And the lady, of course, it's her first time. I don't know what that is. I don't have a PIN number. Now, at this point, I'm recognizing there's going to be some issues here. So I'm looking around for another register. I'll put everything back in my cart and find another register, except no, they're all closed now. All those people that were waiting are gone. They've left the store. They're done, and all those registers are closed. So the only register that's open now is the speedy checkout line. But that's okay, because we get it figured out. She's gone, and it's my turn. I'm next. I'm up. There's nobody else in line. It's just me and the checker, Pearl. Now, Pearl's been there a long time, waiting on all those people in the line. She's been there so long, she's reached retirement age. So, as I get there, they tell me, sir, it'll be just a moment while they perform what I lovingly refer to as the changing of the guard. That's when they take Pearl off the register and bring in the new girl, Melissa. Don't get me wrong, Melissa's a nice girl, okay? But Pearl has reached retirement age, okay? So, as the manager helps Melissa, the new checkout girl, count her money, gets her settled in, she escorts Pearl back to the back of the store where everybody's waiting in the break room to throw Pearl a retirement party. It's just me and Melissa in the store. As we get started, I hear Melissa say, oh dear, I'm out of register tape and it's my first day. I don't know where they keep it. And of course she doesn't know how to change it. I understand that. But that's okay. We finally get that handled. We get everything rolling. And Melissa begins to ring up my purchase. And she points out to me carefully, sir, your ice cream is melted. Well, yeah, I've been waiting in line for days. So I tell her, I don't care. I'll put it in the freezer when I get home and refreeze it. I'll take it. I don't care. Right about at this point, the whole town decides to show up at the store, including 5 of my closest neighbors, the entire church congregation, including the pastor, my boss and his family, and my 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Fountain, from 1954, who is now 124 years old. As they all enter the store, of course, this is the point at which Melissa scans my package of Depends. And it doesn't ring up. There's a problem with the barcode. So, in her usual efficient manner, Melissa gets on the public address system and announces to the entire store, George, I need a price on some industrial strength, super absorbent Depends for Mr. Piles. Bless his heart, George responds with the announcement, what size, the 24, 48, or the economical 96-piece set? Melissa replies, with the 96! George comes back over the public address system with, since he's in here each week, he may want to take advantage of the special here where he gets 105 pieces for the price of 96. I have one left. They're on sale. They're usually $14.99. Today only $12.99. Shall I send up a package for Mr. Piles? I'm thinking, sure, why not? Everybody I know is in the store now, and everybody knows what I'm buying. By the way, did I mention the pastor and his wife stopped by to say hello? That was a nice touch. So as we finish, Melissa asks me, do you want plastic or paper? I just want to go home. Do I need a bag for my Depends? I tell her, oh no. No, I would prefer that everybody in Amador County that doesn't know yet what I'm buying finds out. I said, in fact, a nice touch would be a nice banner outside the store with a big picture of me on it, carrying this bag of Depends under my arm. And once that's put up, it would be nice if you could have the local news station standing by, filming as I leave the store, and they could run the film at 11. Anyway, finally I get my receipt and head to the exit. As I leave the exit, lights and sirens start going off. The guy on the public address system warns everyone in the store, get back and let the SWAT team do their job. We've just caught a looter leaving the store. The SWAT team handcuffs me, throws me on the ground, has the airport security people come over with the wand, go over me to search for weapons, explosives, and incendiary devices. There's a German Shepherd standing by, frothing at the mouth. Having found no weapons of mass destruction on me, I'm carefully swept to an undisclosed location for a quick body cavity search by a rather large individual whose name tag says Bubba. Now, I'm almost thinking Bubba is not the fella who just won the Masters. An exhaustive search reveals that a single chiclet left in my pocket that I had brought in with me was the culprit. And after a stern warning to never repeat this offense, and after signing a waiver of liability, I am released from custody. All I get is an I'm sorry from an assistant security person. I would like to have heard some kind of a public admission over the public address system from the store that it was all their fault and I had done nothing wrong. But I suppose I can be grateful that they didn't investigate my passport. So finally I'm at the car. I open the trunk, I load the truck with my purchases, putting the last 2 bags in the back seat because they just won't all fit in the trunk. As I close the door and head for the driver's door, that's when I notice I have a flat tire. You ever had one of those days? Fortunately, I hadn't returned my shopping cart to the proper cart roundup area. I left it right there in the vacant parking space next to my car. So I unload my trunk back into the shopping cart, and I went to get a second shopping cart from the shopping cart roundup area so that I could unload all the junk that's been in my trunk for the last 2 years that Gail has been trying to get me to throw away that I haven't yet done. So once I get the trunk cleaned out, of course, now I can get to the bottom of the trunk where I find that little tiny donut spare tire. There's something in there that once resembled a jack that's welded to the side of the car. But fortunately there's a jack handle down there that I can pry that loose with so I can get that out of the trunk and begin to change the spare tire. Incidentally, and I'll just throw this in because I know that times economically have been tough. Many of us have not been able to afford to buy a new car recently, and if you're one of those, I do want to alert you that as a former used car salesman, when the time does come that you're able to buy a new car, if that ever does happen again, check the trunk for a spare tire because many car manufacturers are not even putting a spare tire in their trunks anymore. It's just a little something I thought I'd throw in. It has nothing to do with my shopping experience. So anyway, after all that, I get the jack handle out. I'm ready to change the tire. That's when I feel the first raindrop. Yeah, boy. And that's when I remember that the only thing I have taken out of my trunk in the last 2 years, of course, is my raincoat. Well, that goes well, and 84 minutes later I have successfully changed a flat tire, but I'm soaking wet. By the way, so are my purchases and all the junk that was in my trunk. But that's okay, because I know that in a minute I'm going to have all that loaded back in the car. I'll be in out of the rain. I'll be in the car. The heater will be on. I'll be warm and cozy. It'll all be good. So I button her all up. I get in. The car won't start. Someone from the church comes out, gives me a jump start, and I'm off to finally go home. Finally, after this day, I get home, unload the car with all my purchases, bring everything in with me, okay? And then I hear Gail say to me, I thought you were going to get Depends. I did. I bought Depends. Where are they? I brought everything in. They got to be here somewhere. They're not here. Well, I know what I got to do. Fortunately, the store is open till midnight. I'm going to have to go back to the store and buy another 96 package of Depends. So I asked my wife, you want to go with me? She says, no, it's getting late. I'm kind of tired. I think I'll just stay home and watch the 11 o'clock news. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much, everybody. God bless you guys. Have a great evening. We'll see you next time.